Hey LanternCast family, I'm Chad Bokelman. What's going on? Here yet again with another unboxing video. Now, as you can tell, here in front of me are all of the items, most of them, at the very least, featuring Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner in the new Superman film currently out in theaters. As I record this, it is the second weekend of the movie being out, and I made sure to buy as much as I could, one of everything in the set. And I wanted to do a quick unboxing for you. Well, as quick as my videos typically tend to be on this channel. So the first thing we're going to start off with is actually this item here, the ring that comes on the necklace you can get this at Hot Topic, I believe. And I'll put the information for each of these items on the screen so that you can locate them as best you can out in the wild. I actually ended up buying two of these, and as you can see, I have one right here on the screen. So we're going to start with this. This is the ring. It is metal. Okay, so you can, it's metal. It's got this fake, gemstone in here with a little silver band, and then we have, this is very actually similar to the ring design as displayed in the 2011 movie in terms of the top fascia. I believe that's what that's called, coming down along the sides and everything. You can sort of see through here the metal piece going up underneath it and everything. This is a size 8.5 or 9. Typically speaking, you do not get to choose the size of the ring that this Hot Topic one comes as. And it comes on this little leather strand thing, pleather strand. And as you can see here, it's got a little cheap metal clasp and everything. This, I am told, and I ordered one. I did order the regular ring. I'm putting it up on the screen now. This is one of the things I could not get in time for the unboxing. It was hard to find, but I did order one. But according to images of this ring that comes in the official box that you can see here on the screen, as well as some photos a friend of mine sent of the one that he bought, this is damn near just very, very similar. So if you have maybe a size 8.5 or 9 finger and you want the Green Lantern ring, I would say go with the Hot Topic one, to be honest with you. And if you don't want to wear the ring at all, but want a ring, I would go with this one because this other one is $40-50 depending on where you get it. So it's nice, but it's not necessarily the greatest. So that one we'll take off there, and we will jump on over to the Funko Pop. Now, as you can see, the Guy Gardner Funko Pop is it does not have a label, a sticker. That means it's not exclusive. So anywhere that sells Funko Pops, theoretically, should have this in their stores. So it was not available on Funko.com, and this is how you open them, by the way. Get a little butter knife, slide it underneath, slowly twist. Will pop out so it doesn't tear. If you're like an in-the-box collector like me, you just twist slowly so it doesn't tear, and you take it out just like this. But anyways, Funko.com for a while did not have it. But I saw Big Bad Toy Store or whatever did, ordered it there, shipped a lot quicker. But as you can see here, we have Guy, full bowl cut. It's obviously a Funko figure. This nice coloring in his hair to show that it's not just this real matte color, kind of like a dirty orange, maybe. Funko style. And of course we have the ring burst here. There's really no detail, it's just a little bubble. And then it's got this little star-shaped pattern. And of course we have the look of his uniform with the Lord Tech or whatever, Justice Gang symbol, whatever we want to call this here. But as we can see, lots of lines in the pants, on the boots, even on the back of the jacket. Off over on the side shoulder patch, the belt. It's it's pretty well done. I think for a Funko figure, we have quite a lot of detail here on this one. But yes, you should be able, in theory, to find this absolutely anywhere. I did find mine online, but I was over at Walmart the other day, and I did see some on the shelves. So these are pretty much anywhere if you're looking for Funko figures from the movie. I saw all the figures available there, and there's the back of it really quick. But that goes obviously into my Funko collection. We're going to jump over now to the McFarlane Superpowers figure. And as you can see, comes right off. But just showing off real quick, we have this little kind of sketched artwork of Guy Gardner, the McFarlane Toys logo, Superpowers, the Superman logo up over here, and then the wave of Superpowers figures thus far, including the ones for the movie. So there's Ultraman, there's Mr. Terrific, there's Guy, there's Metamorpho, and there's Superman. So they'll all be part of this wave. I ordered this actually over on McFarlane.com, and it hadn't shipped. And then I went to another website, and they had them in stock. So by ordering mine like June 16th, it still had not yet arrived. So I went ahead and placed an order, canceled the order with McFarlane, and placed it with another vendor. But as you can see, this is your standard Superpowers figure. We got some knee bends, knee joints. We have the regular hip joint here. It does not swivel. Okay, it just goes up and down. We have the arms. They go up and down, but there is no elbow or wrist joints. And we have the head. Just your standard Superpowers figure. I do like it. I think it's a relatively decent likeness for what it is. Again, lots of detail. Really good jacket. Side logo. You know, it looks pretty good for what it is. I think if you're going to get a Guy figure from the movie, there are better options. But in the Superpowers line specifically, I don't see why you shouldn't add this to your collection. I think it's a really good one. All right, let's jump over to Imaginext. The Imaginext line, Super Friends. These are from Fisher-Price. I got this one also online, but because it's kids' toys, it may very well be in other stores in the kids aisle as opposed to the main toy aisle where you'll see all the regular Superman stuff, like the stuff still on the screen. But I did not find this in the wild. I had to buy it online. So it's a Fisher-Price Imaginext figures. We have the Baby Kaiju, we have Crypto, we have Superman, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and of course Guy Gardner. And then there's another little play set of the larger Kaiju with Superman and some chains around him. It looks like he maybe makes some noise there based on that little speaker box right there. But as you can see, it's the Justice Gang multi-pack. That's what you're going to want to look for. These I'm going to pretty much just be giving to my nieces and nephews, except for Guy, of course. And we will obviously not spend time reviewing every single one of these. Imaginext figures are very much a specific thing, meant for kids, not a lot of articulation. But here is Guy. Okay, little cartoonish cocky smile. His head does spin here, okay? His arms go up and down just a little bit, you know, raises about there. And, you know, it can go around. It's just a little tough. And his arms flex in and out. So there's that. And then his legs are together. They're one unit. They do not go individually. And they go up and down. Okay? But you can see the ring there. Not a whole lot of detail on the ring. It's just a green circle. But as you can see, this is the Imaginext Guy Gardner. Just because I really like it, I'll also show you one other one, and that is the Hawk Girl one. I think the Hawk Girl one looks particularly cool. Hopefully my niece will have fun with that. But that one's pretty cool. In terms of other figures of this size, might as well cover this now. Burger King is supposedly supposed to have a kids meal, and I've put it on the screen here for you. A couple images I could find online. But according to supermanhomepage.com, it's over in Mexico, although I did get a tweet, kind of a rude tweet, but maybe that's just a translation problem, saying that it's not in Mexico, it's in Brazil, which seems to give me some credit because a friend of ours posted over on Myron's page on the podcast of Oa, the blog of Oa's Facebook group, saying they were in Mexico, and I asked if they had seen it, and they said no, they went to a couple of places, so maybe it is just in South America or Brazil, but this is out there. I did check my local Burger Kings. Nobody had them, so that does seem to lead some credence to that, but this is another thing that's out there that I could not get. Let us take a look at the Epic Strike Green Lantern. This one is from the Spin Masters company, as you can see. All three of these are Spin Masters toys. For the record, here's the packaging. The actual Imaginext, that is Mattel. So Imaginext is Mattel, but here is the Epic Strike figures. As you can see, outside of that other figure over there with the blister, this one does not have a blister. That is because it's a figure that has action. You squeeze his leg, and he punches. Okay? So that's the whole point of the open packaging here, is to showcase that featured ability there. Comes with a couple of constructs, looks like a buzzsaw and then a construct fist. So let's go ahead and get him out. As you can see, we got him on the back here, holding the buzzsaw and then the other fist. We have Superman, who comes with what looks like ice around his fist. We also have Hammer and Mr. Terrific with his terrific spheres. But it looks like they all have a similar action here. So let us tear this open. Let's take a look at these constructs real quick first, because I'm going to put them on the figure as soon as I get them out. We have this fist, and that little peg there obviously goes into his hand. And we have same with this buzzsaw here. So let's actually tear the figure itself out of the packaging. And it comes with a little tied down in there, so you're gonna have to cut those out. But that's no problem for us over here. We'll cut it open, rip it out, and there we go. We have our Epic Strike Guy Gardner. Let's take a closer look at that face. Not too bad of a likeness. A little paint mistake there on his chin. He's a little glossy, I think, and obviously his arm is super loose, because that's the entire point of the figure, is the action there. And of course you can't really keep his legs shut, so he stands at this ridiculous thing. So you want to put his arm down, and you'll just like the box figure in there, you can snap that in there and turn his wrist. Oh, come on. You cannot turn his wrist, by the way. But it goes on. There we go. All right. And then you do the same with the construct hand, fist. You put it in there. And then it just, because of the extra weight, hangs loose. But squeeze the leg, and he punches. So that is the Epic Strike Guy Gardner. I saw this in Target only. I've only ever seen this in Target. And thus far, I've only found it at one Target. These are more plentiful, the ones still remaining on the table. But the Epic Strike, I only ever saw at one store. But it's cool for a kid's toy. Nice to throw a haymaker or whatever at another figure. I can see why it would be appealing. Moving on to the Spin Masters 12-inch figure here. We just have a lot of movie merch. Again, Spin Masters logo down at the bottom. Okay, it's pretty plain. We will bust him out. He is also tied in with these plastic stretchy bands. So let's get him out of there. I have purchased 2 of these, actually. I gave one to my little brother. And as you can see, because it's a larger scale, we have a better likeness of Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner here. Still a little dead in the eyes for me, a little glossy. Of course, these Spin Master 12 inches are very cheap plastic. This is about a $10 toy, as you saw on the screen earlier. And of course, his legs in and out, a knee joint, and then his arms in and out, up and down and around, an elbow joint, and no wrist joints. His head only turns barely and doesn't stay. So it's a very rigid figure, and that's basically all it is. It's meant so you have a nice big toy that kids aren't going to choke on with lots of accessories. $10. Good entryway toy especially for littler kids. And before we get to this one, I did want to showcase, I bought a t-shirt for the movie. I bought this t-shirt first that I planned on wearing to the movie, but then I found another t-shirt, which, excuse me, it's a little dirty. I had to take it out of laundry for this. But this t-shirt here, as you can see, it is the Justice Gang. We have Hawkgirl, we have Terrific, and we have Guy Gardner. Take a better look at Guy. Okay. Sorry, I had a couple of strawberries and the juice fell on there, but this is what I ended up wearing to the movie. I actually got a compliment on it. One of the workers at the theater stopped me and asked me where I got it. And I did find this other t-shirt online. I got this one on Amazon by searching for the Justice Gang. I saw this other t-shirt. Obviously, I'm doing this in post-production. I think this was Target, but you'll obviously see on your screen. But my favorite figure to come out of the Superman movie for Guy Gardner specific merchandise is the regular wave of these blisters here. I actually have 2. And if I can turn you just real quick, right over here, I went ahead and put him on the wall next to my McFarlane Warrior Guy and regular Guy. I still need Red Lantern Guy. Unfortunately, my camera stand snapped off when I did that turn, so give me a quick pause. And we're back. Okay, so this Guy Gardner. This is the series you're going to see probably everywhere. There are a ton of Supermen out there. You're going to see Superman absolutely everywhere. They all come with a collect and connect type figure for robot number 4. But then we also have Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, and Engineer. Now, in terms of finding these in the wild, obviously, stocks may have changed relatively recently, but when I was hunting for these, Superman was everywhere. And if a store had this wave of figures, they at least had Superman. Second most plentiful was Mr. Terrific. I also saw a couple of Hawkgirls, but I saw, for a while, no Green Lanterns and no Metamorphos, and I saw 1 or 2 Engineers. So in terms of being able to find this, I hope stores are better stocked now, but Green Lantern is harder to find. But let's take him out. This is also a Spin Masters brand toy. I have no use for the arm, and neither do my nieces or nephews. So let's just take him out. Now, I will say I want the Build-A-Figure. I think it's a cool figure, and I like the robot in the movie. But check this out, just for the sake of it. Look at the detail. Like, that's part of the reason I want the Build-A-Figure is the level of detail on this thing. Look at the arms, the gears, the circuitry. It's pretty impressive for a little Build-A-Figure. So, kudos to Spin Master. But this is my favorite figure released of Guy for this film. And here we go. There he is, Guy Gardner. All right, let's focus in, focus up. There we go. Again, this is probably a little bit more due to the flashlight that I have on here for filming. He does look a little more glossy on camera, but he is less glossy than the Epic Strike figure. I think they maintained a good level of facial detail for the figure. Despite the size, it's about a 6-inch figure. All the detail on the jacket, the belt, all the padding. The ring is, at least they tried to shape it, and I'll try and focus up on it here. They tried to shape it. It's hard for something of this scale, but they did their best. And the patch and everything on the back here. It's a pretty damn good figure, I think. We have up and down arm motion, elbow. It also swings around. The head spins all the way around. The legs go up and down. There is no hip, but there is also knee. There's pegs at the bottom so you can stand it. There is no standee though. I think this is probably the best figure in the wave. That's why I got two. One to leave in the box. And I think this is probably your best bet. If you're okay with, having the extra arm for no reason and only want to get one Guy Gardner figure, if your kids are old enough to handle a figure of this size and you don't want to get them the 12-inch just because you don't have to worry about them choking on it or whatever, this is what I would go with. And if price is not a factor, because this is a little more expensive than the $10 12-inch Spin Master. That said, though, I think they did a really good job with the merchandise for this film. I personally admit I want a couple of more figures. I do want a Terrific of this. And I think if I find Hawk Girl in the wild, I'm not going to go out of my way, but I will pick it up of this line. So I'm down. I really am. I'm shocked to see Guy in this much physical merchandise for this film. Let me know what you guys think. And there you go, folks. That is all of the available figures from the Superman movie featuring Guy Gardner as played by Nathan Fillion, currently available for release out there in the wild. We have a good 6 different types of figures and a ring or two. They're the same ring, I'm about 95% sure. So if you can find these out in the wild, I highly encourage you add them to your collection. Again, that 6-inch Spin Master is probably the best of the bunch, but as you can see, there's a good amount here in terms of variety. You have collectible type figures like Funkos or Superpowers. You have stuff geared towards more little kids in terms of Imaginext or the 12-inch line. And then you have, for slightly older kids, you have a regular action figure and then one with an actual punching action. So there's a good breadth of things available out there, and I highly encourage you, whatever your collector's mentality is, to find one of these available, because this is a pretty good representation of Green Lantern, given that this is a Superman film. Hope you enjoyed it, and check out the LanternCast's recent episode going over the Superman movie, now available out there wherever you find good podcasts. Talk to you later.